And welcome back to the live morning show brought to you by Don Bullock Chevrolet. And we have our special segment, the New Year, New You segment coming on. I have prepared myself for this. I knew I was going to be asked to do certain things. There's no telling what you're going to see me do in the next 15 minutes. Tiffany Hill and Jet Hatu are my guests here. Ladies, thank you for coming to be with us today.
Thanks for having us.
We are excited. I'm excited. We've got an ambulance on standby in case something happens to me. But we're glad to have you guys here. We want to give you the opportunity, and this segment is brought to you, as you can see, by the Rocky Mount YMCA, Boyce Willis, and Nash UNC Healthcare. So we want to thank them for their sponsorship of this segment. Now, ladies, this is something that you roll into January, you roll into the new year. People have these goals, right? These fitness goals. They want to get in shape. They want to eat right. I want to give both of you the opportunity to just kind of introduce yourselves to our audience. Tiffany, we'll start with you.
Sure, I'm Tiffany Hill, and I'm with First Class Real Estate, Triangle East. We are located at the Rocky Mountain Mills, and we actually just hired our 30th agent. So we've grown a lot in 2 years.
That is phenomenal. 30 agents in 2 years, because just getting started. The real estate industry is got to be pretty fun to be involved in. You get to meet a lot of people. Talk a little bit about how the market is going around here.
Yeah, it's been a pretty hot market since at least over the last 2 years, especially. It is seeming to level out a little bit. That's the prediction going into 2023. So all these home buyers that we're working with, it's hopefully going to get a little bit easier to get them into homes this year, which we love helping people meet their goals. So
absolutely,
we're looking forward to that for you.
You guys do a great job over there. Now, Jet, you also are with First Class Real Estate. When did you get involved, and how have you enjoyed it so far?
So I've been with First Class since November. I was actually hired as the expansion team lead. So my job is to recruit those real estate agents, and that's where we are at 30.
Yes.
So
that's a great job.
We've actually, it'll be 4 for this month. So our goal is 50.
Okay.
So we're on our way.
Outstanding. We've also seen a commercial for another business that you own, Elite Overhead Doors. Tell us a little bit about that.
So I started Elite Overhead Garage Doors in March of last year, so we're almost at our 1 year mark.
Awesome.
We found that there was a need for a reputable garage door repair, installation, maintenance service. So my husband is the technician, so I like to say that I'm the beauty and the brains behind the operation, and he's the brawn, so he goes out and does all the hard work.
That's awesome. Got to have everything. Got to have everything together. I also work with my wife, as Tiffany knows very well, and she sees the good and the bad part of that. We started that, and we're like, let's try to not kill each other, right? My husband and wife work, so we all kind of experience that there. Let's go back to the fitness part of this. As we mentioned, 2023, we're rolling into a brand new year. People are excited. They're motivated. They're hitting the gyms. Let's talk to both of you. What got you into fitness and health? Like, was it something you always loved, or what was that big starting moment for you, Tiffany?
So I grew up doing competitive gymnastics. So
nice. Okay.
Was very, very active as a youth and teenager. Kind of dropped off when I went to college. So around after I got married when I was 23, I really started focusing in on it again.
Yep.
And mostly for the health benefits. I wanted to have energy. I wanted to just feel good, enjoy life, and obviously I wanted my clothes to fit better. So just a little bit of all that.
Absolutely. Jet, how about you? What were some of your motivating factors?
So very similar to Tiffany, I was also an athlete in my youth years. I played softball. I actually played here at Wesleyan.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And
awesome.
Once I graduated, I still continued the journey, more so for maintenance pieces.
Okay.
I also went through some burnout phases in my career, in my life, and I kind of got back into the fitness realm. I do lots of running, and I do lots of low impact cardio, so it doesn't hurt my knees as much.
Oh yeah.
To get my head clear. So the last 2 years, I try to run at least 5 to 6 miles a week.
Awesome. You mentioned burnout, and obviously, Tiffany, Rachel works out all the time as well, so I watch her process and what she goes through each day. Talk a little bit about that, because I think a lot of the reason people maybe don't set goals or maybe stick with it is the fear of failure or something like that. Can both of you talk to, what does it take to push past that type of mindset? Because no matter what you do, you're gonna hit roadblocks. You're gonna get frustrated. What is the mindset that you have to develop to get over that?
So I would say first set yourself a goal that you're going to do this for 21 days.
Okay.
It takes 21 days to create a habit. And so just set your alarm, get up. I would suggest going early in the day. That might not work for people who work
Right.
different kind of shifts.
Right.
If you can, go first thing in the morning, get it out of the way. And also along with that, you have got to factor in healthy eating. You can even just Google macros, and what that is telling you how much fat, protein, and carbs you need in a day based on what your goal weight is.
Right.
And because honestly, 70 to 80% of the results that you see are going to come from your diet.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Jay, you want to add to that? What are some of the things that you do to kind of push through those negative moments sometimes?
So I'm a really big reader, and I've read a book recently called Never Finished, and he talks about a governor. So just like a car has a governor that it can't go over a certain mile, 90 miles an hour,
Yeah.
you're trying to push it to 110, right?
Yeah.
The body also has a governor where you cannot push yourself, or people think that they can't push themselves past a certain point, where I've had to retrain myself. And I'm also a coach, so I coach youth softball, and I try to get them to see, okay, you feel like you're at this potential, what can we do to make this next step?
Right.
And to build that confidence, because it's a confidence builder.
Absolutely.
So you're starting with the very, very small, if you want to get into fitness and you want to get stronger, start off by, when you go to the water cooler at work, do 5 squats. That's
Yeah.
something so small, and if
Yeah.
you can accomplish that goal, then you can accomplish a bigger goal.
Absolutely.
And you're kind of retraining that governor in your brain.
Yeah. Talk about what it feels like. You push through the adversity. I've watched a lot of people, whether it's Rachel or other people that she's worked with in the past, like when and things that I've tried to do personally. When you set a goal and reach it, it is incredibly rewarding. Talk about that, because that's the type of thing that really, really keeps you going. What is it like to set a goal and achieve it?
It just is really empowering, especially when you look at something that looks like a mountain. Like starting a fitness journey, you literally
Yeah.
can't see the other side of it from
You're
where
right.
you are.
You're
But it's a
right.
one step at a time thing. You don't go into the gym thinking, all right, I'm gonna bench press 200 pounds today.
Right, right.
You're like, I'm gonna start with just the bar, and I'm
Right.
gonna do 2 reps of just the bar. And once you do that, you just build on that, and you will be just astonished at what your body is able to accomplish when you just build on it a little bit at a time.
Absolutely. Now, most people, when they have fitness goals, they focus on certain aspects. Tiffany, you've gotten into CrossFit. Tell us what CrossFit is. I know many people probably heard the term. Some know what it is. Some don't know what it is. Tell us what it is and how it relates into fitness and what got you into it.
Yeah, absolutely. So when people think and hear CrossFit, they just kind of like freak out, because
They do.
what they're what they associate with that is probably watching the CrossFit Games, or watching someone do 35 pull-ups on a bar,
yep.
or deadlift 500 pounds. CrossFit was designed to be functional fitness. So what it's really, really teaching you, and the goal, is range of motion and flexibility.
Okay.
I want to be able to go out and, pick up my groceries without throwing out my back when I'm 80 years old.
Right.
And that's part of what this teaches you. It teaches you proper technique for bending down and lifting things, reaching up and grabbing things. Obviously, you can add on weight if you want to be competitive, but really don't be intimidated by it, because if you choose the CrossFit journey, there is what's called Foundations class, which teaches you the basics, so
Yep.
you're not going to injure
Yep.
yourself. And you can go as light or as heavy as you want to with the weight part.
Absolutely. And I think that is the key part of that, because Rachel did that for a little bit, and like you say, with you doing it, there is a certain level of intimidation to the word. Like everybody that I've mentioned, they're like, man, that's that hardcore heavy, like I can't do that. But with any program, CrossFit is no different. You start at a level that you can work up and build towards. So, Jet, we'll go back to you. I know that some of your focus is with senior fitness. Can you tell our audience what you focus on, and how seniors really benefit from having these type of programs in their life?
Sure. So, like I said earlier, I'm more so focused on the maintenance of my health. I feel like I had gotten to a really healthy point in my life, and I just want to be able to maintain. I would love to do CrossFit, but I'm at that fear. I got my governor is like holding me back here.
Okay.
It's not allowing me to take that step to do CrossFit, but something that is really easy is called low impact cardio.
Okay.
That is something that I do at least 4 to 5 days a week.
Okay.
That is walking at a small incline at about 3, maybe 3.5 miles an hour, depending on what your speed is. But you're getting your heart rate up, but not enough to where it's high intensity cardio.
Right.
And honestly, it burns twice the calories and twice the fat than high intensity cardio would. It's also, since it's low impact, it's less harmful to your joints,
Okay.
especially
Okay.
in your knees and in your ankles. But you're getting a whole workout in because you're actually walking uphill.
Okay.
Also with stretching, because stretching allows oxygen to move through your body, so it allows your body to kind of recover better after you've done some kind of workout.
Outstanding. We're going to now, and this New Year, New You segment brought to you once again by our fine sponsors, the Harrison Family Rocky Mount YMCA, Boyce Willis Clinic, as well as Nash UNC Healthcare. So we want to make mention of our fine sponsors, Jet Tattoo and Tiffany Hill with me right now. Ladies, why don't we make some space here for you to show us a few things, bring in what you have. I am here to do whatever you may need to do, and I mean, I'm sure people would rather see you guys do it, but you come on and let show us some things,
Yeah.
and I'll be glad to help whenever.
So what I can do is I'll help you guys stretch first. So when I coach kids, I feel like it's the same thing as coaching or stretching as an adult, even on into later in life. But we're just gonna do some stretches. Pull your arm across and then pull your right arm across, take your left arm and just pull. So you're gonna feel this muscle right here stretch. So you're stretching out those, excuse me, I don't know all the proper terms for these muscles, but you're gonna stretch out the muscles in your arm. So you can switch those. You can also do what they call trunk twists, and don't do them in a very rapid, fast manner, because you want to make sure you're not pulling anything.
All right.
But when you're doing this, you're tightening your abs right here, your abdomen muscles. And
Let me ask you a quick question about
let's
that.
work with
How
that.
do people know, like, the pace to get? Because you always watch these people get in the gym and everything, and they're like, it's like they want to get in there and impress somebody. Like, how do you make sure that you're taking care of yourself, but also pushing yourself to some degree to you know what I'm saying? Like, where's the balance there?
Honestly, I would think it would be with your reps. So you don't want to ever get too overworked or too overwhelmed. And if you do get to that point when you're in the gym, or if you're working out at home, take a 10 to 15 second break and then get back and finish your reps.
Gotcha.
So, because if you overexert your body, then your body will probably collapse on you. But doing some stretches, if you're able to and you have the great balance, pulling your legs up. Look, me and Tiffany have amazing balance. Look at that.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't I'd be on the ground now.
Pulling your legs up. You can also do this sitting on the floor, and I'll demonstrate that here in just a second. If you prefer, if you can't, if you don't feel like you have the balance. So if you sit on the floor, if you point your toes, when you sit, I don't know if you guys can see my toes, but you guys can see Tiffany's for sure. This actually stretches these outer muscles here. But take your right leg, put it over, cross them. Take your left arm and put it on your knee, and then just start turning your back. So this is a little more advanced to the trunk twist that we just did. But it's basically a whole body stretch, and keep your toes pointed.
Right. Yeah, technique is definitely the key to all this. I've watched people in the gym, and you know you're thinking, oh, they're doing it, and I've seen other people come and say, your technique's a little off. You don't want to hurt yourself. So technique and form is vital to everything that these ladies are doing.
I definitely think a personal trainer, at least for your first
Yep.
6 months is
Yep.
necessary because you don't want to injure yourself
Yep.
if you're doing something. So this is called the butterfly. I'm sure everybody's probably done something like this. But so that's something that I really like to do, and I make sure that I stretch at least 2 or 3 days a week, and then also the girls that I coach also stretch as well.
Right.
So-
Very, very important. Now, Tiffany, you got, you want to bring in?
Sure, some
show us-
equipment.
Absolutely. Show us some of that.
So, like I said, CrossFit is all about functional fitness, and you can go as light or as heavy on things as you want to. So, like an example of a workout that we would do that's easily modifiable would be, it's called an AMRAP, as many rounds as possible. Sometimes we have 5 minutes to get these in, sometimes we have 25 minutes. So I'll just kind of show you, and like I have these are called kettlebells. This is a 15 pound, that's an 8. I usually use a 35 to put it into perspective.
Okay.
So it's easy, and I started with one smaller than that.
Okay.
So it's just an example on how you build. So what we do is grab our kettlebells, and we would do 5 reps of these. 1, 2, and make sure you use your hips to get it up. 3.
Now, am I supposed to be
4.
bending my legs? Because
No, keep them straight.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So 5 of those, and if you wanted to modify, you could do knee raises so that you're still working this core right here. So then from there, you would move into what's called an air squat and do 5 of those. And you can go right here. Technically, we're supposed to be going to where our hips are below parallel. So that's a more advanced one. So we'll do 5 of those. 1, 2, 3. And like I said, you can just go a little bit. Just barely bend the knees. 4, 5. Whew. And then you will do, see, it's easy to get winded doing this stuff.
Right,
and then
right.
go down and do 5 push-ups.
Okay.
And you can do them like on your knees like this, to where you're not having all of the pressure, and do them kind of like
I'm
that.
gonna let you do those. Tiffany. You look great doing that.
So this would be an example
Great
of a
cheerleading.
modified,
Yeah. Great
a
cheerleading.
modified push-up, and then, or you could go like military style,
Yeah.
where you're all in on this one.
Yeah.
Wow.
Look at that. I think she's done this a
But-
few times.
I think so.
So yeah, that's just a simple example of working upper and lower body and being able to modify it for what works for you.
That is excellent. Well, ladies, we greatly appreciate. Lamb, would you like to come in and?
I have a question. Step on in. You see a lot of people running or walking. And more so now than in the past, as people have New Year's resolutions and want to try and get fit. Where is the mix between that cardio, getting your heart rate up, you're exercising your cardiovascular system and your muscles as well too. But many people find that doesn't give them the opportunity to lose the weight that they would like. Where is the mix between that and putting some sensible weight training into the regime? Do you understand my question with that?
Yeah,
That's a great question. So one thing that I do, especially in the spring, it's a little too cold to do it right now, but I buy ankle weights, and they're 5 pounds a piece, and I will strap them to my ankles, and I will walk my neighborhood, and I'll walk at least a mile.
Yes.
So that adds, it's the low impact cardio that I was telling you guys about, but I'm adding 10 additional pounds to my body, so it makes my body think that I need to pick up the pace. It makes my heart think that I need to pick up the pace to make it a little more intensified. And again, that's something that's low impact and that anyone can do.
and I would say to address the concern of I'm working out, but I'm not losing weight or meeting my health goals.
Or, I'll be more specific, someone has lost almost all the weight that they would like. There's certain parts, maybe around your waist or in your thighs,
Right.
that the weight just doesn't seem to want to come off with the cardio workout that
Yes.
you're
We
doing.
were talking about this
Yes. So with cardio, unfortunately, you can't target fat burning.
Right.
You can target where you build muscle. So that's where I want to throw a shout out to my friends at the Y, because I have a membership there too.
There you go.
And I see a lot of you all the time.
Yeah.
They had talked to me about targeting muscle building.
Yes.
So that's where you will see that stubborn fat go away, even though we can't target fat loss, like you said, like I have like my midsection, like what woman isn't targeting their midsection? So they've shown me the machines there and the weight training I need to do to target muscle building there to lose the fat.
All right.
So, last question. You mentioned a personal trainer. Is there the possibility that if someone wants to try and add some of these targeted muscle building routines to their workout, that they could contract with a personal trainer on a short-term basis to help them just get to do the right way to work this into their routine? It does not have to be a long-term commitment with someone.
It does not. I actually got married in 2021, and at the very beginning of that year, I knew the dress that I was going to have, and I knew what I wanted it to look like in photos. I hired a personal trainer, a local person, and I showed them this is what I want, and that's all we worked on for 9 months straight. And so it was a short-term goal that ended up lasting and having long-term results, but I no longer see that trainer because now I know what I need to do.
You are incorporated into your ongoing routine.
Yes, sir.
Yes, same experience with me. I know the Y offers personal training that you can do on a session-by-session basis, as well as CrossFit. You can take the foundation classes and buy a punch card and just do, or just buy some personal training. You don't have to do a full membership.
Thank you. I think that answers some of the questions that our viewers have about wanting to get in shape, but wanting to do as much of it themselves as they can, but knowing where to go to get the answers and the help with the parts that they're not successful or don't know how to specifically address.
Absolutely.
Thank you, ladies.
Yeah,
We
thank you for having us.
really appreciate you coming. Tiffany Hill, too, have been our guest here on the New Year, New You segment, brought to you once again by Harrison Family YMCA, Boyce Willis Clinic, and as well as Nash UNC Healthcare. Ladies, thank you so much for being with us and for what you have taught us and shared with us. When we return, we'll get our final look at weather, and then Lim and I will wrap things up. You're watching the live morning show brought to you by Don Bullock Chevrolet.